Good morning. Thank you for joining me on She Became Visible today.
I am having a crisis.
I am so excited for my guest today.
Just kidding, it's not a crisis. What does Brene Brown call it?
I'm saying about vulnerability is that when you are in uncertainty, when you feel at risk, when you feel exposed, don't tap out.
A vulnerability hangover. That's what I'm having right now. Let me gather myself. Here, I'll do the fake me. Bring in the masking. Okay, here we go. Hi, good to see you. Thank you for joining me. You know, I had the best opportunity the other day. I was invited on this She Became Visible podcast with Renee Steelman, someone to be admired, emulated, praised in every possible way. And I got to spend an hour and a half chatting with her, and it was great. Was it what I thought we were going to be talking about? No. But does it matter? No, not really, because I had a great time with her, and I think we could totally be buds. And now I'm going to go back to myself because I am impressed I could mask that well. And actually, when I'm masking, it seems that my words come to me a lot quicker than when I'm in the ick. But I want to sit in the ick because it's important to sit in the ick. Sitting in the ick is how you get past the ick. So what I'm feeling right now is, I have to say there's a bit of excitement somewhere in there because it got my adrenaline, going. So it might have been fear and excitement. It's fear of being seen in a way that I don't want to be seen. You know what I mean? Or being perceived it's having, I don't get to control it. That's what it is. I have a control freak part in me that I didn't realize I had. I've put a lot of things out into the ether, into the world, but every single time I've had control. I've been the one who's decided what to say. I've been the one that's done the editing. I know the content. I choose when to release it and to who. And all of that is out of my control today. And as much as I knew it was going to happen, you just can't always anticipate the feelings that you're going to have when it happens. I think this is the hardest part of letting myself be seen on the internet and speaking up. The negative comments, I don't know, I'm sure there will be some that come that a dagger to my heart. Typically they're just trolls, and I think it's kind of fun to play with, and I'm intrigued that they're here. I'm just glad to talk to people that aren't in my echo chamber. I prefer to talk to people that don't see the world as I do. That's where I think change happens, growth happens. And so it usually brings a lot of ick with it. So I guess I like being on the other side of ick, which Renee has so beautifully allowed me to practice. One thing that she told me that I thought was kind of funny is that behind all these men who, I love all of you men, you're great, you've done a wonderful job, and you got me through. You've gotten me through my faith crisis by having a platform and showing me other people that I've experienced and been exactly where I was at different times throughout the process, and seeing how good they were and how they understood what it's like to have your identity wrapped up in your religion. I mean, it makes sense, right? And so to see that other people had this identity and then crisis like me, and know I wasn't alone, even though it felt terribly, terribly alone. I'm grateful for all of you men, but I'm going back to Renee was just saying she's had a lot more access to people and been more visible on the ex-Mormon scene than I have, even though I think we left about the same time. And so she's had access to a lot of the people podcasting, ex-Mormon world. But she was just saying how it's just crazy. You go in where these men are podcasting, or they've got the lights and the multiple cameras and all the mics, and they know all the how-to of the tech world. And it's a whole studio. It's just, and she's like, and here I'm in my bedroom, and here you are in your basement. We're just doing the best we can with what we've got. Because I've listened to Renee and watched Renee since she started her podcast. It's been helpful for me. So I hope that mine can do the same for people. It feels presumptuous. We kind of like to assume that my story is going to help someone. It also lends itself to something we often do in Mormonism, and that's trying to save people. I think sometimes as we leave, because we've been taught so well, that we have something that others don't. It's our job and obligation to share truth with the world. It's interesting that even when we leave, a lot of the dogma, a lot of the tradition, the beliefs, the missionary part of us and speaking truth part of us is very much still there. That's what I was good at in the church. Sharing, testifying, teaching. I guess that's why I'm doing it now. 1, because it feels natural in some ways. 2, because it's hard. It's a challenge. 3, because it's fun. I ingest a lot of podcasts and interact a lot with not only ex-Mormon podcasts, but believing podcasts. I think it's so fun. One of my favorites recently has been Zion Media.
I believe that they are receiving revelation.
So close that we grab it. And as we grab it, it lassos the sun and it goes right around the sun and it comes back exactly 7 years to the day. 200 years from the day that Joseph Smith said that all these people came to him. Not on our calendar, on the Jewish calendar. And it just so happens to be a Jewish high holy day. And I think it's a warning sign. I think this is like a sign from God being like, bro, you guys better repent.
They have kept the magic, the mystery, the excitement, all the good zhuzh that I loved so much in Mormonism, probably the parts that make it most peculiar and strange and weird and maybe culty to people, but it's the part I really loved. Now that I no longer hold like an absolute truth or position, just choose how I live my life, being able to enjoy mystery, even fantasy, fiction, going along with stories that are entertaining and exciting, that's fun. I didn't realize I could do that or that it was okay as an LDS believer. I was a weirdo. I didn't even promote Santa Claus at my house or any Easter bunny or anything. It was always about Jesus. Like, I kind of sucked all the fun out of secular life and made everything religious. How did I get here? I love trying to figure out how I got from one place to the other. Zion Media. They still have the magic and the mystery, digging into the scriptures and finding connections and patterns. And I just think that shit's so fun. I think I must bug them. I interact a lot in the comments and I don't really get much back. They haven't kicked me out. And I know all the stuff they're talking about. I loved it. I dug it. It was a passion for me. And so even though I don't believe it any longer, it's still fun. And it's what I know. So I still like to delve into that. Anyway, I'm going all over the place. I just thought maybe the discomfort, maybe I should just work it out on camera and let other people know that it's real and it's possible, even though it's just not very fun at all. It's really awkward and I don't like seeing myself straight on. I should probably turn. I don't know cameras. It doesn't come natural, folks. Let me know if anything I say is helping you. If you think I should do it differently, what you'd like more of, any feedback, because I need it. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. I need it and I appreciate it. More to come. We're in an upward trajectory because I'm way down here. Because it's fun and totally scary. Anyway, go watch the podcast. She Became Visible. Renee Steelman. She released it today. Today is Wednesday. March. What is today? 5th. I lose track of days.